Welcome to RG classes, and our today's topic is light. So light, that is the basic form we will study today for class 6. There is the introduction for the light. So first of all, we will start with definition. What is light? Light, sound, electricity, these all are the forms of energy. And whenever we will describe, we will give the definition of any form of energy. First part will include that it is a form of energy. Whenever you need to write the definition of any form of energy, so first of all you should write it is a form of energy. So for light we will give the same statement. Light is a form of energy, presence of which produces the sensation of vision. Light, what is basically? It is a form of energy. Like the other form, heat, sound, electricity, it is also a form of energy. And if it is a form of energy, remember, whenever you write the definition of any form of energy, not about only the light but also the other form of energy. So whenever we will write the definition of any form of energy, first statement that we will write, it is a form of energy, and the second part will include the function performed by this form of energy. So what the function performed by the light? Light perform the function that it produces the vision. So it is a form of energy, presence of which produces the sensation of vision. So I am writing this definition. Light is a form of energy. Light is a form of energy, sensation of which produces vision. So because of presence of light, we are able to see the object. And how we are able to see the object? Whenever light from any source strike on an object, and if from that object light after reflection enters our eye, in that situation we are able to see the object. Okay, so now today we will study light, different source of light, then the categories luminous and non-luminous, whether they are producing their own light or they are being illuminated by the other lights, propagation of light and rectilinear propagation of light. So first of all, after definition we are starting with source of light. Source of light. So any of the object which are able to produce their light, which are able to produce light, source of light. Source, that means from where we are getting the light. So any object, whether they are natural, artificial, whatever, that doesn't matter, but if they are able to produce light, they are said to be the source of light. So any object which can emit light is said to be source of light. Okay, so source of light we understood. The source of light has further been categorized into two groups. That one is the natural source of light, and other is the artificial source of light. So natural, so word itself is defining natural source of light. The source of light that we that is emitted from the heavenly objects, sun, moon, stars, are said to be the natural source of light, or we can define it as the source of light that is emitted from the means that have their own origin, is said to be the natural source of light. And artificial source of light, the source of light produced by the human, developed by the human, are said to be the artificial source of light. Natural source of light constant. Natural source of light does not require any external factor, any external medium or any external agent in order to produce light. But any of the artificial source of light require a agent, a medium or any condition in order to produce light. Natural source of light, sun, stars. So sun and stars, we do not feed any chemical, we do not feed any external agent in order to produce the light. Sun itself emit their light, they constantly emit their light, they have the endless source of light. Stars having the same thing, but whenever there is the artificial source of light, these are made by human, and these all, whatever bulb, torch, candle, so whatever, what category of artificial source of light we have, that doesn't matter, but all category of artificial source of light require a agent, whether it is chemical, whether it is electron, whether it is other factors, in order to illuminate it. Bulb, in order to illuminate the bulb, in order to produce light from the bulb, we need electricity. Torch, in order to produce light from the torch, we need dry cell, and in dry cell chemicals are fed in order to produce the light. Their chemical energy get converted into the electrical energy, then only we get light. And once that chemical energy get क्या हो जाएगा, means used up, after that torch, the bulb of the torch stops working. Next one is the bulb, torch. So in the same manner, means whatever the source of light, artificial source of light, that will require an agent in order to produce light. So natural and artificial source of light we understood. Now luminous and non-luminous object, again this source of light has been categorized into the two groups, luminous and non-luminous. So first of all we are क्या जाएगा, talking about the luminous object. So now we were talking about the source of light. Now luminous object, any object which emits their own light, that means light emitted by them does not depend upon any external factor, any chemicals or any other source fed to them. They have their own source of light. Whenever they require, they can emit the light. So luminous object, any object which emit their own light, is said to be luminous object. Okay, so sun does not require any external source to produce light. They emit their own light, they have their own light, so that's why sun is called luminous object. Any of the stars emit their own light, so stars will be called luminous object. Achha, there are some biological object also, they have their own source of light. Not only sun, stars and the other object, but there are some biological object also which can emit their own light. And if a biological object emit their own light, that situation is said to be bioluminescence. If light is emitted by a biological object, that has been given the term bioluminescence, such as firefly. One of the best example, firefly that we see in our surrounding. So firefly emit their own source of light, and we can see it clearly in our surrounding. So luminous object, hope you understood. Next one is the non-luminous object. So obviously just opposite to it, non-luminous. So any of the object which have their which do not contain their own light, which do not emit their own light, but with either they reflect the light of the luminous object, or light falling on them, are said to be the non-luminous object. One of the best example, moon seems to be the luminous, moon seems to be emit their own light, but they do not have their own light. They reflect the light falling on them. And from where light fall on the moon? So from the sun, means moon always reflect the light falling on them, and the sun's light that fall on the moon, that is being reflected by the moon, and that's why moon is not a luminous object. Although they are emitting it seems to be that moon emit light, but moon exactly does not emit light. They reflect the light, sun's light falling on them, so moon is said to be non-luminous object. So in this manner, any of the object which do not have their own light, which do not emit their own light but reflect the light falling on them from the other sources are said to be the non-luminous object. Now after luminous and non-luminous objects, so first one complete, second one complete, third one complete. So after luminous and non-luminous object, propagation of light. Any kind of energy require a medium in order to propagate it, to travel it from the one place to the other place, from the one particular medium to the other particular medium. But light does not require any medium to travel. Keep in mind, light does not require any medium to travel. That means light can travel through vacuum, light can travel through solid, light can travel through liquid, and light can travel through any of the medium wherever it is possible. So that means you can say, sir, if light is traveling through all the medium, through all the given sources, that means will the speed of light will be same or different in the different medium? So obviously if it does not require any medium, so from medium to medium the speed of light will vary. It will completely depend upon the molecular arrangement. If the molecular arrangement is high in a particular medium, so it will reduce the speed of normal speed of the light, that is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second, that is the speed of light in vacuum. Vacuum, that means a place where there is no particle medium, so completely free space, and in that free space light travel with a speed of 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So with that speed light propagate in that medium. So whenever light will enter from the vacuum to the any of the other medium, the speed of light will change, and propagation and manner of propagation of light will change, and that completely will depend upon the molecular arrangement, molecular pattern of the medium. If the molecules of the medium are packed very tightly, so under that situation it will offer a lots of obstruction in the path of light, and the speed of light will reduce. And as soon as the molecular arrangement get reduced, molecules get away from each other, so the speed of light will increase because it will suffer less obstruction. Okay, so propagation, so light can propagate through any of the medium, but through whatever the medium light travel does not matter, but light always travel in a particular manner. And what is the manner of the traveling of light? If light travel in air, water or glass, that doesn't matter, but whenever light travel through any of the medium, it always travel in a straight line. If it is traveling through the air, also it will travel in a straight line. If it is traveling through the water, the manner will be same, it will travel in a straight line. And if it is traveling through the glass, under that situation also it will travel through the same manner, that means in a straight line. And this phenomena of traveling of light in a straight line is said to be the rectilinear propagation of light. We have a word, that is the rectilinear propagation of light. So we understood from it that light can travel through the any medium, but whatever the medium, that doesn't matter the manner of propagation of light, that is it always propagate in a straight line. So whenever light travel in a propagate in a straight line, travel in a straight line, this phenomena of traveling of light in a straight line is said to be the rectilinear propagation of light. So if we need to write the definition of rectilinear propagation of light, I'm writing I'm writing here rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light. Okay. Phenomenon of traveling of light. In a straight line. Is called rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light. Okay. It is obvious that whenever light enters from a medium to the other medium, it bends. Suppose we have a medium that is the air, and from the air light traveling into the water. So whenever light travel from the air to water, it bends. But it can bend when traveling from the one medium to the other medium. But in a particular medium, it will always travel in a straight line. There is the only one way to propagate the light, that it always propagate in a straight line. And again, obviously it has bent at the surface of the separating the two medium, but again in water it will always travel in a straight line. So this phenomenon is said to be the rectilinear propagation of light. So in next video we will do an experiment to prove that light always travel in a straight line, and also other topic we will cover in next video.